picking on a half-grown boy like that?
Yeah? Rattlesnake killed soon as it's born. Slaughter boys start young, too. We must ought to have a lookout around here somewheres.
Turn over a rock and a slaughter's gonna crawl out. Think of the devil. There's Abe. Get down, Reese. Hold up there, Dave.
Later! I got some liquor coming. Or did you get thirsty?
See if you can find a bottle.
Reese, give me a bottle of whiskey.
Hurry up.
You're getting too big for your britches, little brother.
He doesn't know it, but he's right. These pants are shameful tight.
Ain't seen soap in water in a coon's age, neither.
Don't smell like no prairie flower back there yourself, Reese.
Huh.
Wagons are coming, boy. Give your brothers a hand.
Whoa! Here we are, boys.
That ain't Dayton loot. Throw down on them, boy.
Howdy. Give me a hand getting him in there, will you? 1, 2, 3, hop! Well, we got ours.
It's taking Reese a little longer.
Yeah, it is. Let's go. Well, if it wasn't so, blasted hot out here, we might be able to climb down there and flush old Amos out for him.
Never mix in a private fight. It ain't polite.
Well, I got, $5 on Reese.
No bet.
Go! Give me some shit down here. I'm empty.
Oh, teaching his Dutch old trick like...
Don't ever use a new one. Old one works.
Amos, you ought to know better than to take my word for a thing like that.
anchored up. Both of you. We get out of here, you're going to get the worst impression of your lives.
Be lucky if you get by. All the shooting and stealing you done. Small fortune there.
Yep. Been trailing them for quite a spell. Had orders not to take them till they led us to the loot.
I reckon most folks figured they'd never see it again.
That's what I kept saying.
Yeah. Well, been a long chase. Reckon you boys are due for a night to howl.
Well, that's very nice of you, Reese. Just like the captain, got a heart of gold. Always trying to improve our morale, huh?
Well, ain't saying we can't have some fun. Just keep in mind we got a long, hot ride to Laredo tomorrow. Well, let's tote these sacks over to the bank for safekeeping.
Couldn't leave it in a safer place. Not that I'm a bragging man, but with my reputation being what it is, and Wentworth with that special safe, bank robbers been giving this town a wide berth.
Got a good look at that special safe. After what I learned from that safecracker in Leavenworth, it'll be easy pickings.
Well, the boss figures it's worth a try, so you got 10 minutes to fiddle around with it. And only 10 minutes. If that don't work, we're gonna blast it.
My way's a lot quieter.
We ain't had no trouble before. We hit 5 towns in Kansas, each one on a Saturday night. There's so much whooping and hollering in the saloons, nobody heard the charges go off.
Hey, Bolt. Couldn't make that next Saturday night instead of tomorrow night, could we?
Why?
Oh, they got this little hot tamale coming in to dance at the Silver Slipper starting tomorrow.
Is that all you ever think about?
Gotta have some fun. All work and no play.
Makes you richer every day. Now you shut up and listen. The boss says tomorrow night. It's gonna be tomorrow night. Here's a map. It shows where we head for and where we join up.
Better check this in with Wentworth himself.
I came to you, Mr. Wentworth, because I consider you a man of rare intelligence.
I am honored, Miss Bristow, but I'm also a man of business. And a loan of this magnitude...
Got some important business, J.B. Rangers here got a parcel of money to leave overnight.
I assure you my business is equally important.
Of course it is. No need going busting in on a lady. We'll wait our turn. Sorry, man.
Thank you, Mr.
Bennett, man. Reese Bennett.
Just make yourselves comfortable, gentlemen. This won't take long.
Wait on her, you'll cool your heels for a spell.
I don't think you realize the importance of my work.
The plain truth is, Texas just isn't ready for culture.
Ready for it, it's starved for it.
Miss Bristow, you've provided our town with a veritable banquet. With what result? How many people have read your books? How many have attended your lectures? 3. Myself, my wife, and the preacher. You can't continue your work on an income of 75 cents a night.
I'm aware of that, but as soon as I reach California, everything will be different. I promise you the loan will be repaid with interest in 6 months.
My dear lady, surely you realize that I can't risk the bank's money on the word of someone I've only known for a week? Someone who intends to embark on a dangerous journey?
There'll be no risk. I'm prepared to offer collateral.
You're sure generous with the time off you gave us.
You just be drinking and spending your money.
Yeah.
Now the lady's in trouble. Give her time to work it out.
Well, I think she's wasting everybody's time. If she thinks that old geezer's gonna wind up being a good Samaritan, she's got another thing coming. He ain't got a soft streak in the head like you.
No.
A genuine Throckmorton.
Looks to me like the frame's worth more than the picture.
One can hardly expect a man whose knowledge of art is limited to reclining nudes and saloons to recognize a masterpiece by one of the foremost American painters.
A genuine, ought to be worth lots of money, man.
How would you know?
Oh, he's a connoisseur.
Watch your language in front of a lady.
Why, it was just the other day that Mr. Bennett was saying that a picture is like a poem without words.
You know Horace? Remarkable. I had no idea there were men of your caliber in the Texas Rangers.
They take them whatever caliber they use, ma'am, as long as they shoot straight.
Oh, that's a very funny play on words. Very funny indeed. Well, Mr. Wentworth, this changes the picture, doesn't it?
I'm afraid not, Miss Bristow. I don't want to cast aspersions upon your word, but I have no way of verifying the value you put on this painting. Therefore, I must refuse your request. With regret.
I see. Good day, Mr. Wentworth.
We'll see you this evening.
I'm sorry to have kept you gentlemen waiting so long.
Hope you make out all right, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Bennett.
Who's Horace?
Oh, you don't know Horace?
Of course not. Didn't spout none of that silly stuff about no pictures and poems, neither.
Well, why didn't you speak up and say so?
'Cause you didn't give me a chance.
No, I seen a moonstruck calf look just like that once.
You know, I didn't think that lady was his type at first, but they got so many things in common. I mean, they got Horace and they got Throckmorton.
You ought to be thinking of ways to help her instead of standing around making jokes.
Oh, I know how we can help her. We can go gather up all the fellas in town and herd them right up to her tent at gunpoint.
Now, wait just a minute. Don't you go counting on me. We're gonna be in this town one night. And I got me a lot better things to do than listening to lectures.
Wouldn't count on neither of you. Wouldn't do nothing for nobody unless there was something in it for yourselves.
If you'll just step over here, Mr. Bennett.
Reese, you got us all wrong. It's just that we do our best thinking when we're drinking. Here, catch.
We'll do our thinking at the Silver Slipper.
Yeah, well, like Reese was saying, that poor woman needs help.
Like I was saying.
Now, I don't have in mind cutting down on our fun.
Somebody else's?
Now, this will give old Reese a chance to become known as a champion of culture. Why, all he's got to do is help that lady sell the tickets to her lecture.
He'd be like an old bull seeing red if he finds out we was mixed up in it.
Oh, I don't see why. Him wanting to be so helpful and all. Besides, it's for his own good, too. Why, there's just nothing like the influence of a good woman to keep a man out of trouble.
Business ain't booming, is it, ma'am?
I have had just about enough sarcasm. Oh, Mr. Bennett's friends.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And we're proud of it, too, ma'am.
Do you share his interest in the finer things?
Oh, yes, ma'am. We also share his concern about a lady in distress.
From what I heard in the bank, you were more concerned with how long you'd have to wait for a drink at the Silver Slipper.
Oh, that wasn't personal, ma'am. That's just the way we got it talking at Reese. Kind of riles him some.
Nonetheless, I'm sure you're thirsty and I have tickets to sell. Excuse me.
Oh, ma'am, that's just what we wanted to talk to you about.
I know that you're not interested in hearing me talk, and I'm not interested in charity. Good day, gentlemen.
But, ma'am, we're not thinking about charity.
No, ma'am. We was thinking about maybe a way that you could sell all them tickets.
All of them?
Yes, ma'am. Reese could do it.
He sure could.
Why, he's a born organizer. Wouldn't surprise me none if he could fill your whole tent.
Oh, I couldn't impose on him. Put him to all that trouble.
Wouldn't be no trouble for him.
Why, Reese could sell religion to the devil himself.
Yes, ma'am. He's the finest salesman I've ever seen. Why, if you could put yourself in his hands, why, in a manner of speaking, why, he could solve all your problems in no time.
No time at all.
And it's at 7:30 in the tent on the edge of town.
What's this here talk on?
Grease.
Grease? Axle or bar?
You gonna leave without saying you're sorry?
I'm sorry, ma'am. Only funnin'.
That'll be 25 cents for a ticket.
Oh, thank you.
I don't need no ticket.
You be there.
Sure.
Why, you're a forceful man, Mr. Bennett. I had a grandfather like that. Muy hombre, they used to call him. He carved himself a little empire out of a corner of Texas and held it against Indians, border bandits, and guerrillas. But we couldn't win with a crooked tax collector and swindling scallywag politicians.
Too bad.
This Throckmorton and my books are all that's left. I'm glad he didn't survive to see this day.
You know, ma'am, maybe you ought to find a town more settled. Town like San Antonio. Might be people there knowed about pictures. Maybe they'd be willing to loan you some money, huh?
I don't even have money enough to get out of San Saba with the hotel bill and the livery stable. That's why I'm putting my pride aside and asking you to help.
Me?
When your friends told me what a brilliant salesman you are.
Huh?
Oh, you don't know what it's like to be a woman, alone, friendless, and then to find a gentleman, cultured, chivalrous. It's such a blessed relief just to be able to put everything in your hands.
They told you to do that, huh?
They said you wanted to help, that you'd be willing to sell 100 tickets.
I'll kill him.
What did you say?
I said I'd try to sell a man.
Oh, I know you will, Mr. Bennett. I know you'll find a way. Although you wouldn't have as much difficulty if you had an attraction like Carlotta.
Carlotta?
The new dancer from the Silver Slipper. Every man for miles around will be coming into town for her first appearance. And from what I saw when she came into the hotel this morning, they're not going to be disappointed.
Chad. Oh, thanks, Bart. Looks like she's going to keep old Reese busy quite a spell.
Yep.
That is the most diabolical,
now, miss.
devious,
I was only trying to help.
delightful deception ever devised. How on earth did you think of it?
You mean you ain't insulted?
Why should I be insulted?
Well, you being such a lady and Carlotta being...
Desperate situations demand desperate measures. Besides, as Emerson once said, what is a weed but a plant whose virtues have not yet been discovered?
Well, I don't know about her virtues, but I know lots of dance hall girls have a hankering to be respectable.
You know you're really very ingenious. How can I ever thank you?
I pull this off. Would you tell them two churnheads what you just said? About me being a genius?
On my word of honor.
Afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon. Would you care to buy some tickets to my lecture?
Why, yes, I sure would. Everything's set for tomorrow night.
There's been a change of plans, Mr. Bolt. You'll clean the bank out tonight.
With the Rangers in town?
When they go, Mr. Bolt, they'll take a great deal of money with them, unless we get it first. There's an old saying, never look a gift horse in the mouth. It spoils your luck. Besides, I expect them to be extremely helpful. They're 25 cents apiece.
Huh. Well, in that case, I'll take 4.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Whatever you say goes, boss. You ain't made no mistakes yet. I reckon you know what you're doing.
I know exactly what I'm doing, Mr. Bolt. Good day.
Good day, ma'am.
Pasa.
Señorita Carlotta?
Sí. Ven acá. Más cerca. Siéntese a mi lado.
Oh, gracias, ma'am. Gracias.
¿Habla usted español? Bueno.
No, just enough to get along. Like, una mujer muy bonita.
Gracias.
And let me see. ¿Cómo está usted?
How am I? I tell you how am I. Estoy acotado de arriba abajo. Todo. It is the stagecoach. Tengo los golpes. Aquí están. Me duele la cabeza. No me siento bien.
You ain't sick, are you? That'd ruin everything.
Why you think I called for the doctor?
Didn't know you did.
You are not the doctor?
No, ma'am. My name
How dare you come in here?
Cause you told me to come in, that's why.
Oh, what kind of a girl you think I am?
Just
out,
give
get
me
out!
2 minutes to tell you what I got in mind.
It take a lot of no time to know what you have in mind, hombre.
I come to see you on account of you being what they call an una artista.
Es mucho favor que me hace.
Oh, it ain't flattery at all. Got a message about that from a lady right here in town.
Ay, todas sus mujeres son muñecas feas, son mentirosas.
You got her all wrong. It's not what you think at all.
Carlotta do not think she know. Always it is the same. Get out of town. They want to reform me.
Give you trouble, huh?
Oh, see, when I dance, the men, they are pleased, but the women, they say he's wicked.
Well, Miss M ain't that kind. She's interested in what they call Las Vegas artists.
I do not dance nothing but fandango.
It don't matter none. The thing is, she needs help real bad.
That is shock. Why you think I help somebody I don't know?
'Cause she can help you.
Who helps you? You do not talk sense, hombre.
Senorita, how would you like to get back at all them women been pestering you?
How?
Well, Miss M wants to put you on the stage in front of the whole town and tell them she's got a real artiste to dance for 'em.
You make fun of Carlotta.
Oh, no. Word of honor of a genuine Texas Ranger.
And they will believe this?
That's what she says, like gospel.
The other women in other towns, will they hear of this?
Sure as shooting. Some of them going to be there tonight to watch the whole shebang. And knowing women, word will spread like wildfire. Now, what do you say?
What do I say? I say, si, hombre.
Well, that old poster makes them all look tame by comparison. What if we can get Reese to stay over?
Ain't no chance.
Wonder what the old man's up to.
The Chad you got rid of, now all you do is talk about it.
Well, it just ain't as much fun unless you can watch him suffer.
Ain't suffering at all.
Buenas tardes, senorita. Been waiting for you, old buddy.
Yeah, been sitting around here hee-hawking like jackasses about me being suckered into helping Miss M. Well, now you can see the rewards of coaching. Come on, Trevor.
I guess we're going to have to introduce ourselves. My name's Chad Cooper.
Oh, no. Carlotta and I got a lot of work to do, selling tickets. Which reminds me, when I first heard about you two talking to Miss M, I figured I ought to scalp you.
Is that what you figured?
2 tickets, $5 apiece.
Bees, you're trying to scalp us.
You couldn't give those things away.
Huh? Well, it'll be $10 now. Come on, Carlotta. Now, folks, y'all heard of Miss Carlotta here. She's come to dance in the Silver Slipper. But tonight, she's doing a special dance down at Miss M's tent. Why don't you give them a sample, senorita?
Carlotta will be back in a little while with some exciting Spanish gitana dances.
Whiskey. Kinda dead in here.
The golden age of Greece gave us the wisdom of Horace, Hippocrates, the father of medicine, and Plato's ideas on justice. It is as expedient that a wicked man be punished as that a sick man be cured, for all chastisement is a form of medicine. In the Greek concept, a man was supposed to make the most of whatever creative abilities he possessed. Take Socrates, for example. He was an ex-soldier who exercised every morning to avoid fat man jokes and returned every evening to a nagging wife. Perhaps that's why he gave us that profound plan for living in harmony, the golden rule. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Poverty in itself was not considered shameful. But it was felt that there was something wrong with a man who, finding himself poor, did nothing to better his condition. Poverty was only a disgrace if it came from idleness, extravagance, intemperance, or folly. Success lies in the words of that great Greek philosopher who said, "If we do not watch, we lose our opportunities." If we do not make haste, we are left behind. We still have men shaped in the magnificent mold of the ancient Greeks, with personal qualities of courage, self-command, justice, strength, and wisdom.
Haven't met one yet.
There is one among us tonight to whom we all owe a great debt of gratitude. Mr. Bennett, will you step up here?
So she means you. Go on up. Your public's waiting.
I can't get up there for all these people.
There ain't no way to dodge it now, Reese.
Look, just don't let them see that you're scared. You're supposed to be a hero.
Ain't scared, just feel like a fool.
Look like one. One of them Greek gods that she was talking about, don't he, Joe?
Ought to be wearing one of them leafy crowns.
Mr. Bennett, please.
Go on.
I can't tell you what a great help you've been to me.
My pleasure, man.
Speech!
Yeah, speech! Speech! Speech!
I ain't much on speech making. I don't know where to start.
Just tell them about the capture of the slaughters and your brilliant use of the Trojan horse technique.
Well, as far as I can recollect, it was a team of blacks pulling that wagon. That right, boys? Well, old Amos was holed up real smart. Could have stood off a whole army. And we was on the outside trying to figure how to get past the guard. And they was on the inside.
Ain't inside now. Bust it out.
How long have they gone?
Long enough to break into the bank.
The safe? Clean out, slick as a whistle.
High price to pay for culture.
Poor Reese is speaking for us before it got started.
Thought you said that bank was a safe place. It was, till you fellas brought them slaughters to town. Waste of time jawing about it now. Night Marshal saw them headed south. Let's ride.
Told you they was headed west.
Did you see him?
Come out of the bank. The horses waiting across the street. They rode out heading west.
Better go down and take a look.
You gonna waste time on the word of a drunk? Well, there ain't nobody standing in your way. Go get him, Sheriff. We got our own way of doing things. Ranger Captain's gonna hear about this.
Where were you when the slaughters broke out, Sheriff?
Well, I need some men to ride with me. Get your horses.
Yeah, looks to me like they waited here holding 4 horses.
Well, I wonder why they kept them clear across the street.
Rode out that way.
Was one of them big and bearded and have his arm in a sling?
Wearing bandanas. No sling. And all of them carrying money bags.
Well, maybe Amos was the one that stayed here with the horses.
Could be them slaughters never went near that bank.
What are you trying to say, Joe? That one of these Jaspers broke the slaughters out of jail and just used him as a diversion?
That print's the same horse I've been following from outside the jail. Slaughters went one way, and he come here.
Well, there's 2 calks here, and it's built up there.
Like signing his name. Let's split up. 3 of them went south.
I'll trail him.
How come you?
Oh, 'cause he wants all the glory, that's how come.
Who says?
Well, 3 men against 1, Reese. If you pulled it off, you could be a big man. You could lecture about it.
Now you hold on there.
Ah, Chad, it ain't that he's itching to brag on himself. He just figured out it'd be a lot easier tracking that print that I showed him.
Well, that Socrates fella didn't have it so bad. He only had to put up with one nagging tongue. You want to go south? Ride south. Hot as Hades, but you brung it on yourself. Have 'em.
Socrates.
Darn chuckhole. Come on, boy. Well, that's the best I can do for you now. Now you got grass and water, and I'll be back just as soon as I can. Now you stay here, okay?
Why, Mr. Bennett, what on earth?
Trailing that bank robbers. Horse stepped in a chuck hole.
Well, I'll be happy to take you to the next settlement.
Take too long. Trail get cold. Gotta use this.
You can't hope to catch them in a wagon.
It'll be faster than going on foot or a lame horse. Gotta lighten the load.
Just what do you think you're doing?
Just gonna leave here. Pick 'em up later.
Do you realize what exposure to the sun will do to those bindings? It'll ruin them.
Well, it's gonna ruin the town unless we get that money back.
Mr. Bennett, we're both trying to civilize this country. You can't do your work without your weapons. I can't do my work without mine. I cannot afford to lose those
Well, it
books.
ain't gonna be no trouble to find them.
Well, if they're still here.
Well, where would they go?
They're very valuable.
Oh, now, Miss M, who'd want to steal your books?
Anybody with the sense to realize that there is untold wealth in those volumes. Seneca said, as the soil, however rich it may be, cannot be productive without culture, so the mind without cultivation can never produce good fruit.
Well, the sooner we catch them thieves, the sooner you can start harvesting your fruit. Now, talk's wasting time.
So is unloading this wagon. You'll just have to reload it. If the books stay, I stay.
Oh, now, Miss M, you know I can't leave you here.
Then why argue, Mr. Bennett? You know I won't budge a step without them.
Oh.
That's the one, Chad.
Well, you three left San Saba in something of a hurry last night.
I wouldn't say that. But suppose we had. Some law against it?
Bank was robbed last night. There's a law against that.
Do tell.
You fellas make it a habit, traveling at night?
In a country like this, I have a mind to miss the heat of the day. It's easier on the horses.
Some business is easier transacted at night, too. The banking business.
Banks are closed at night, boy. The fact we rode out of San Saba don't give you a reason to tie us in with what happened. You got no right accusing respectable ranchers of robbing banks without you got some kind of proof.
What's your names, men?
Name's Sam Bolt. This here's Link Carson and my foreman, Rafe Mabry. Now, we're out of San Antonio, and I think you better check that before you buy yourselves a heap of trouble.
I reckon we better do that, Joe.
You want to search them saddlebags, you go right ahead. Of course, they don't look much like they're bulging with money.
Oh, we wouldn't want to do that to a respectable rancher like yourself, Mr. Bolt. No, I think that we owe you an apology.
We better be backtracking, Chad. Like I told Reese, this whole trip was just a wild goose chase. Sheriff was right. Must have been them Slaughters robbed that bank.
Must have been, Joe.
Link, you better trail him a spell just to make sure.
Sight him. You stay put. Don't want you hurt.
Well?
I followed them a couple miles. They're riding back to town.
That's good. They ain't the first lawman to fall for Miss M's tricks. They won't be the last, neither. Let's move out.
Tracks going in, none coming out. Must be holed up. I'm going to take a look. You stay here and lie holler. I thought I told you to stay put.
You might say thanks. I saved your life.
Job, sing out.
More coming.
Stay down.
Shooting's all over.
Yeah, looks like you had plenty of help.
Been too tough for him to handle alone, huh, Chad?
Guess so.
Yeah? Well, come here. I'll show you something.
All right.
Two of them here.
Double-crossing, greedy she-cat. Wanted it all. She made fools of you. Was her that planned it. Planned them all. The money's in the wagon. In the books.
In the books?
Well, I said there was untold wealth in those volumes.
Oh, Miss Sam. Why'd you go and do it?
I'm used to the full, rich life, Mr. Bennett. I don't like being poor.
I guess you had cause to be mad. Everything being stole from you.
Stealing's one thing. Murder, that's something else.
Murder? I didn't murder anyone. I shot a man, yes, but only to save Mr. Bennett's life.
You know, the captain's just liable to pin a medal on her for saving old Reese's life. It's gonna make a good story for the boys, though. Him having his old hide saved by a woman and sitting right there on all that money without even knowing about it.
Well, she should have saved his hide. After all, it was him helped her pull off the job in the first place.
Might just say he's an accessory.
Sure, before and after the fact.
I don't think you'll tell that story, gentlemen, because you were all very helpful, up to a point. Why, it was you two gentlemen who so kindly provided me with the inspiration for that Friday night diversion, with your great faith in Mr. Bennett's abilities. And believe me, you were quite right, gentlemen. Mr. Bennett is a genius.
You got Miss M's painting, huh?
Yep. Hated to leave her in that jail after she gave me this.
Reese, what are you going to do with a big thing like this? I tell you what, I'll give you $5 for it.
For a genuine whatchamacallit?
Oh, come on, Reese. Now, a lady hornswoggled you once. She'll be taking you in again if you believe that story. Now, I'm offering you more than this fake's worth.
Well, if it ain't no good, what you so anxious to buy it for?
I just want to impress the folks of a little gal I met. Make them think I'm interested in the finer thing.
Well, a case like that ought to be worth, $10.
Reese Bennett, you're a thief.
Morning, Captain.
Reese. Well, the sheriff caught up with the Slaughters. They're safe in jail in San Saba.
If they're safe there, that means we'll go chase them before long. What about Miss M?
What to get about 50 years for being a woman and having a smart lawyer, and you for a character witness. She might get less.
Well, I sure hope so, Captain. I sure hope so.
She's a nice lady. Even if she was a bank robber, she had reasons.
Oh, Reese, all women have two reasons for everything they do. The one they tell you and the real one. Like her killing that fella just to save your life.
What have you got there, Chad?
Oh, it's just a little present for a lady, Captain.
Real pretty, too. Belonged to Miss M. Said it was a genuine... what you call it?
Throckmorton.
That's the handle. Couldn't sell it, so she gave it to me.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. Because you'd be out whatever money you paid for it. It's confiscated. Stolen property. Good day, gentlemen.
But Captain...
Thank you, Reese.
Now,